everybody. Well, today was my CDL roll test day. It was March 8th, 2022 at 9 a.m. I got there maybe around 8 a.m., studied a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I got this. And I was ready. So my truck got there, my instructor, I have 2 classmates there to support me. Yay, yay, yay to y'all for showing so much support and believing in me. I felt the love. I really do. I genuinely felt the love. So yeah, I was nervous, beyond nervous. So got in the truck. The examiner read the instructions and everything, what to do. We doing the brake test. Did the brake test. So I was like, I have a manual. So I'm like, all right, now, I'm going to safe start the vehicle and then proceed with my in-cab inspection. I proceeded with my in-cab inspection. So before I say I'm finished, I always look at everything and I'll be like, what didn't I say? What didn't I mention? What didn't I point out? So he was like, are you finished? I said, yeah, with the in cab. Yeah, I'm finished. He was like, are you sure? I said, with the in cab. Just so if I'm not just being clear, I'm not finished with the in cab. So he was like, once we get out of this truck, we can't go back in the truck. So are you finished? I said, oh, hell no, I'm not finished. I said, I got to do the tug test. I'm not finished. I said, that's why I kept saying I'm finished with the inspection. So I still had to do my tug test. So I did my tug test. He was like, all right, pull around. We was in like a little cul-de-sac at the area we was at the DMV. It was a little cul-de-sac. It was a little roundabout. So he was like, all right. And at the end of the roundabout is a stop sign. So he was like, go ahead and drive around, pull up to the stop sign. So I pulled up to the stop sign and I'm looking at him. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He like, hold up, wait a minute. It was a situation going on with another truck next to us. Like, we're at one end of the cul-de-sac and they at the other end, and there's a truck had pulled up behind us in the middle. So the truck right across from us, it was having issues. You know how when they start, they tell you, okay, put your foot on your brake, turn your left signal, right signal, blah, blah, blah. Well, this truck right next to us, brake lights wasn't even working. So that truck should have been out of commission. So they had to go. So my examiner went over there and he was telling him, yeah, man, well, turn the vehicle on, pull up some, do this and do that. They was like, well, we don't have more tricks to do to help you get these lights on. So you got to reschedule. So I'm listening to their situation they got going on. And I'm just like, Lord, please be with me. Cover me in the blood of Jesus. All of that. So he was like, I have to read you your instructions. Listen, blah, blah, blah. So he said, the only thing you have to do is name everything on the side of your vehicle. I said, so I don't have to name the back? I said, so I don't have to name anything in the back? He said, I'm going to say it to you again. Only thing you have to do is name everything on the side of your vehicle and the couplings. I said, oh, okay, I got this. Okay, my mirror brackets is properly mounted. My mirror's not cracked, broken, or missing. I started running it down. Oh, that's all I have? Okay. I got that. Did the side of the truck, went around, did the fuel tank, did the drive shaft, did the muffler, went over there, talk about my torque bar is properly mounted, my airbag is properly inflated, not cut, cracked, or damaged. Talked about the suspension, my shocks is properly mounted, top and bottom, not damaged, not leaking. Then went from suspension system, went over to the brakes. My brake lines are not cut, crimped, damaged. Here no leaks. Brake chamber properly mounted, have all of their hardware. Here no leaks. You know, tires. These tires can't have no more, no less than 30 seconds. See, I always say that wrong. I was stumbling over. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Wear it out evenly. Those tires can be recapped, remanufactured. They on bud rims. Have to be evenly spaced. No debris in the middle. You know, I ran it down. Went around to the back. Talked about my lights. Started talking about my airlines, my coupling. I did everything. Then he was like, all right, come on. Because when it got to the fifth wheel, I was getting nervous because I always forget something. So I'm naming this. And finally, when I said the platform is properly mounted to the frame, that was the last thing I said. When it should have been the first thing probably I should have said. He was like, okay, come on, get in the truck. I'm going to walk up here. Follow me in this lane. So I went and I started my maneuvers. He was like, the first maneuver you want to do is a straight back. Okay. Did the straight back. Then as I'm doing the straight back, for some reason, since we have pup trailers, my trailer tend to always go to the left. We at DMV, now my trailer want to go to the right. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I'm almost out of the back of the cones. So, you know, you get one pull up with the straight back. I said, you know what? I'm not going to make it. My trailer is not, my tractor is not going to make it out. My trailer is almost out. My tractor is not going to make it out. My tires is going to run over these little itty bitty cones. You know what? Let me do a pull up. Let me get everything straight. I'm like, oh, I'm even better. Backed it on up. And blew my horn. I did that. Now, the next maneuver I had to do an offset to the left. Okay, no problem. Started my maneuver. Then in the beginning, in the middle of my maneuver, I forgot what I was supposed to do. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get out my vehicle. I said, I'm going to use the get out, clear my head, because I don't know why I went dumb. And I forgot what I forgot to, I went to the right, I went to the left. My tractor and trailer was supposed to be straight, and then I was supposed to do a straight back into diagonal, so I'm parallel to the cone. Well, I went to the right, I turned my steering wheel to the right, turned my steering wheel to the left, and then I straightened up my tractor. Then I did a get out. I shouldn't have gotten out, but I didn't realize that until I got out. I'm like, you know what, Maggie, calm it down. You got this. Let's go. So, got back in the truck, backed it up, and I saw I was about to run over the middle cone to the right side. And I'm like, all right, shoot, I got to do a pull-up. So I taught myself how to always correct, how to fix my maneuvers. Whenever I'm messing up, I taught myself how to do it. So I snaked up slowly, snaked up. Then finally, I got to where I saw that I was straight. So I did a straight back. I had to do a little bit left and right, trying to get my, trying to make sure that my trailer tires didn't go out of bounds or anything. So I had to do a slight left, right, but it was basically a straight back. Once I went over them, backed up past the first cones, as soon as my tractor crossed over the first cone, the front of my tractor crossed over the front of those cones, big. He was like, okay, well, now you're going to do a parallel park passenger side. So go up, make a big U-turn, and come on this side. I'm like, okay. I got this because that's the side I've been studying on, practicing with. So I'm like, all right, that's no problem. I got that. I got this. It's no problem. So I moved up. I moved up past the cones, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I'm rolling because I want to be 5 feet ahead. And the width, I want to be 2 feet away from the cone, the width-wise. But the length-wise, I want my trailer to be 5 feet ahead. So I get out, I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I was 7 feet ahead, but I was like 2 feet the width away from the cone. So I was like, all right, I got to back up a little bit before I start cutting my wheel. So, all right, I get in the truck, I back up a little bit, and I have this counting thing that I do. So I was like, all right, 1, 2, and I should have did 3. Then I stopped. I started cutting my wheel to the left because I want my trailer to go to the right. That's in the box. So turn my wheels all the way to the left, start backing in, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, my trailer is in here. I got it. My trailer is in here. So I backed all the way up to the back cones and then whipped it around. I pulled up and I was like, yo, it looked like my tractor is crooked a little bit, but I'm in the lines. So I said, you know what? I'm going to use my get out. Let me get out. My driver's side was inside of them cones. My passenger side, it was a little bit out. So I see the examiner. So I get back in the truck. And I'm like, I don't want to blow my horn. And I was about to fix it. But I see the examiner picking up the cones that's in the front. So I'm like, oh, shit, he picking up the cones. So that means, okay, he gave it to me. He's picking up the cones. So he get in the truck. He said, okay, let me give you more instructions. We're going to go out on the road. You have to be safe driving, blah, blah, blah. And when we get back, we're going to, something about railroad crossing. When we get back, we'll go over the railroad crossing or something like that. So I said, okay, so how should I get out of here? He was like, you know what? Go up and make a wide, go up and make a wide turn. Don't go on the grass. So as soon as you leave out of the road test area is a stop sign. I made sure I stopped. I was like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You're only supposed to do two Mississippis. I did 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Pulled off, changing the gears. And for some reason, when I changed the gears, I grind the gears on my truck. I didn't do that. So I was happy. I'm like, oh, I didn't grind no gears. I'm good. Pull up, another stop sign. Stopped it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Now you in the area where all the cars rushing, trying to get into DMV. Get up to the stoplight. I go. Everything's fine. First 5 minutes, everything was cool. Then he was like, oh, you want to make a right on this street right here before the light. I always practice on intersections when I turn. I never turned into a residential area or a street that didn't have a stoplight. I never, for some reason, my instructor just never did that. So this was kind of like off to me. This was kind of off to me. He was like, okay, you're going to make a right turn before the intersection. It was a street right before the intersection. So I see the street. It looked residential. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So I go up past the street and then I turn. But as I'm turning, I'm like, oh, my God, my tractor is going to go on the sidewalk. The front of my tractor, I'm thinking it's going to hit the curb or something. I'm not even watching my trailer, in which that's what I should have been watching. I should have been watching my trailer. So he was like, watch them back tires. When he said that, only thing I could say was, oh, shoot, my back tires hit the curve. So I didn't go like over the curve, but it bumped and hit the curve. So I made my turn. And the only thing I can say in my head was, oh shit, I failed. That's all I could say. So up ahead is the highway. He was like, make a left turn. You're gonna enter to the highway. And he was like, okay, you're entering the highway. He was like, your speed. So I'm in 8th gear and I'm trying to go, but then I don't know. My speed wasn't high enough. He wanted me to go a little bit faster, entering into the highway and then being on the highway. But this type of highway, what I realized, it had stoplights. Every so often, it had stoplights. So, turn my light on. So this highway had stoplights every so often. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, so it had stoplights every so often. So for me, that stopping and going, I didn't want to go too fast because then I had to put on my brakes and then break it down. Like I'm in the manual, it's a 10 speed, so I have to break it down. And then starting back up, 1 through 5, the first 5 gears, like you're going through them so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click, 6, 7, 8. Like you're going into those gears very quickly. And then it seemed like every time I got up to the 8th gear, it was another stoplight. And he was like, I should have been going faster. The speed limit is 55. The speed limit is 55. And he was saying I was going like 40, 35, 40. And which I probably was. But I felt like that was the correct speed at the time for the environment. So we out driving, riding around. He was like, okay, turn this way, turn that way. All of the turns at the intersection was perfect. It was right on. It was very, very good. Then we get close. We get close to by the DMV and we at the light. I thought I had it in 2nd gear. I wanted to start off in 2nd. Because that's how I like to do. Huh? So I like to start off in 2nd, but I was in reverse. So as soon as I went to go take off, it rolled back. So I'm like, whoa. Put it in 2nd. And so when we got back, he told me pull over. And he just looked at me. He was like, you such a good driver. You did good. You control the truck. He was like, I see you can control the truck. You can shift. But he was just like, you hit the curve. And I was like, I know. I know. He was like, you didn't hit it bad, but you still hit the curve. Then he was like, secondly, you had one in reverse. You thought you was in 2nd, you went in reverse. And then he was like, thirdly, your speed. He was like, I told you about your speed. You were staying at 35 to 40 for a long period of time. So now you become a hazard. And I'm like, okay, all right. He was like, so just work on them things and come back. And he was like, if you work on them things and come back, you got it. He was like, I know, you got it. So I'm like, okay, all right. And he felt bad that he had to fail me because he see like I had control over the truck. He ain't never feel any threats, anything, because I told you, every intersection, I was patting myself on the back. I'm like, yeah, I'm pulling all the way up. Then I'm turning and I'm maintaining my lane and tractor and trailer doing what it's supposed to do. Like, I was just happy because at school, I grind my gears. I don't always double clutch because I still don't have that down pat. Downshifting, I don't have all that packed, but on my test date, I had everything. All of that was together. All of that was right on point, right on point, right on point. So I failed. I have to reschedule in 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not sure when I have to go back, but I know I'm gonna get my Class A license. I'm determined. I got my permit on my own. I studied for that, and I went and got that. My tanker endorsement, I studied for that. I have that. My hazmat, I studied and I got that. So I'm just like, I can do anything I set my mind to, you know. But it would be nice if I can find somebody that has a tractor trailer where I can get some extra hours in on driving, because driving is not my strong point, because I don't get a lot of time to drive while I'm at school. My school is short staffed, and at that time that I had my road test, that was only my third time out. So I'm like, kudos to me. My third time out. And that time doing my road test was the longest time I had ever been out. And so I'm so proud of myself. I know I will have my studio very, very, very soon. Yeah. So kudos to me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my little story time. Peace and have a wonderful day. Bye.